Hi everybody, in this video let's do some revisions on Form 1 Chapter 1 Rational Number. So I would suggest you to pause the video whenever you see the question, try it on your own first. If you get the answer correctly, you just skip to the next question, so it will save your time. It is very important that you try to solve it yourself. Don't just listen to me without trying yourself. Okay, now let's look at the first question. Which of the following are integer? I think this one you should be no problem. Integer is just like whole number which you learn in primary school, but integer can be positive and it can be negative as well. And also remember, 0 is an integer also. So 0 is neither positive nor negative, but 0 is an integer. Okay, so negative 10, yes, negative 10 is an integer. 3.5, no, 3.5 is a decimal. 2 over 5, no, 2 over 5 is a fraction. 6, yes, 6 is an integer. So this is positive, this is negative integer, this is positive integer. So 0 is neither positive nor negative, but it is considered as an integer. So remember this. Okay, now let's try question number 2. Arrange the following integer in ascending order. So some students will always get confused between these two. Ascending order and descending order. So if you are having this problem, always get confused between these two, you can try to use this method to help you to remember it. When you see ascending order, A, start with A, right? Think about add. Keep on adding on it, so the number will become larger and larger, right? When you add it, keep on adding, it will become larger and larger. So ascending order means small to big. Okay, now how about descending order? Look at D. You can think about deduct, which means minus, or drop. So from big to small. Big to small. Okay, so this is a way that I tell my students to use if they get confused between these two. Okay, so this question asks us to arrange the following integer. All these are integer. So remember again, 0 is neither positive nor negative, but 0 is an integer. Okay, so we want to arrange all these integer in ascending order. A, add, become larger and larger, from small to big. So now we focus on negative number first, because when you compare negative and positive, the negative number will always smaller compared with the positive number. So since we want to start from the smallest one, so we focus on negative number first. When you deal with negative number, you need to be extra careful because you learn it. You didn't learn it in primary school, so this is considered new to you. So you need to be more careful. Okay, so the larger the number, the smaller the value it is. What does this mean? Let's say you have two negative integer, negative 10 and negative 20. Which one is smaller? This number is actually bigger, right? Okay, now we just ignore about the negative sign. Just look at the number. This number is actually larger, right? 20 is bigger than 10. But when we look at its value together with the negative sign, this is actually smaller. This is bigger. This is what I meant. What I told you just now, the larger the number, the smaller the value it is. Okay, so when you start to get confused, you just think this way. When you see negative, just think about losing money. When you see positive, think about earning money. So this incur a loss of 20 ringgit. and this just incur a loss of 10 ringgit. So which one is the smaller one? I think it should be no problem, right? Negative 20 is the smaller one. So this is larger. Okay, now we want to start from the smallest number. So it will be negative 10, followed by negative 6, followed by negative 5. The rest, I think it should be no problem because you learn it in your primary school. Okay, 0, 1, 3, and 4. This is the smallest integer. This is the largest integer. Small to large. Ascending order. Okay, now let's look at question number 3. Fill in the blank by using the symbol. Okay, so this is less than, or you can read it as is smaller than. So how about this one? Is larger than, or you can say is bigger than. So always remember the arrow, the sharp part, always pointing to the smaller number. Okay, so how do we fill in the blank here? Let's compare A and B first. A is on the left hand side of B. That means A is smaller than B, right? So when you draw a number line, 1, 2, 3. So the number on the left is always smaller to the number on the right. So 1 is smaller than 2, 2 is smaller than 3, right? So A is smaller than B. Always remember the arrow always pointing to the smaller number. Okay, so A is smaller. The arrow pointing to A. A is less than B. Now we compare between B and C. Which one is smaller? B is on the left hand side of C, right? So B is smaller. Compare with C. So arrow pointing to the smaller number. So B is less than C, or you can read as B is smaller than C. Okay. Now let's go to question number 4. Arrange the given fraction in descending order. Still remember what I told just now? If you always get confused between ascending order and descending order, think this way: D, deduct, or drop from big to small. Okay, big to small. So some students will make mistake when they try to arrange in a descending order. So if you have a hard time, or if you worry that you will make mistake, you can just arrange it in an ascending order first. Means that first you arrange from small to big first, then only you invert their order. Okay, let me show you. So now I try to arrange in ascending order first. Let's say you want to arrange it in descending order, you worry that you will make mistake. You arrange them in ascending order first. From small to big. Just like what we did just now. Okay, now we focus on negative fraction first. Okay, now we have a hard time because all of these, they have different denominator. So you can actually use your calculator to help you to just convert them to decimal. I will show you later. Or if you change all the denominator same first. So first, we find the lowest common multiples of 3, 4, and 6. Okay, let me divide all this number by 2. 3 cannot divide it exactly by 2, right? No problem. You just bring the 3 go down. 4 divided by 2, you get 2. 6 divided by 2, you will get 3. Okay. Now, we have 3 here, 3 here. I just divide them by 3. 3 divided by 3, you will get 1. 2 cannot divided by 3 is okay, you just bring it down. LCM, you can bring it down when you cannot divide it. HCF cannot, okay? So 2 cannot divided by 3, we just bring the 2 down, pull the 2 down. 3 divided by 3, you will get 1. Continuing doing it until you see all become 1. 1 divided by 2, 1 cannot divided by 2, right? You just bring the 1 go down. 2 divided by 2, you get 1. 1 cannot divided by 2 is okay. You just bring the 1 go down. Now you see all the number become 1. Stop doing here. Stop here. Just find the product among these three numbers. So 2 times 3 times 2. 12. Their lowest common multiples is 12. What does this mean? It means that 6, 3, and 4 all can change to 12. Okay? Now, how do we change the 6 to 12? We know we need to times 2, right? If here you times 2, you need to do the same thing for the numerator, times 2 as well. So you can write over here, negative 10 over 12. Okay, how about this? How to change the 3 become 12? Times 4. If here you multiply by 4, you need to do the same thing for the numerator. Okay, so this is 8, this is 12. Okay, let's go to the last one. Let me bring this one, go down first. How do you change 4 to 12? Times 3. If here times 3, you have to do the same thing for the numerator. 1, 3, you get 3, 4, 3, you get 12. Now, all the denominator of the fractions already become the same number, so we can compare them easily. Let's start from the smallest first. This is the smallest. Whenever you have a hard time to determine which one is small, which one is smaller, you just think about money. Lose 10 ringgit, lose 8 ringgit, lose 3 ringgit. So now you know, right? So negative 10 over 12 is the smallest one. But you don't write negative 10 over 12. We need to write this one. Negative 5 over 6. Smallest. So this one is a little bit bigger. This, right? Don't write this, write this one. Negative 2 over 3. And the largest among these three will be negative 3 over 12. Don't write this one, write this one. Negative 1 over 4. Okay. Now, let's move on to the positive fraction. Again, this is 3 over 4, this is 4 over 5. They have different denominator. So I need to do the same thing, change the denominator become the same first, so that easier for us to compare which one is bigger. So 4 and 5, you know that it can be converted or it can be changed to 20, right? So how to change the 4 to 20? Times 5. You multiply by 5, here you have to do the same thing. So 15 over 20. How to change the 5 to 20? Times 4. So the denominator, you times 4, you need to do the same thing for the numerator. Okay, now I think it should be no problem to compare these two, which one is larger. So this is larger, right? So since this is ascending order, I will write this one first, but don't write this one, write this. Okay, then followed by 4 over 5. This is the largest, this is the smallest, but you have to be more careful. This is ascending order. The question asks us to arrange all these fractions in descending order. So now I need to change their order, invert their order. Write 4 over 5 first, followed by 3 over 4, followed by negative 1 over 4, followed by negative 2 over 3, and the last one is negative 5 over 6. This is our answer, descending order. Okay, so if you worry that you will make mistake when you want to arrange them in descending order, you can just arrange them in ascending order first. After you finish arranging them, just change their order, invert their order, like this. Okay, so just now I told you that if you don't want to do it this way, you actually can convert them all to decimal first. So you can just use your calculator, for example, negative 5 over 6. You just press negative 5 over 6, then press equal. This is fraction. You want to change to decimal, just press this one. Negative 0.8333. Okay, I just take 4 decimal places to be enough for us to compare which one is bigger. Negative 0.8333. Okay, let me write down. Negative 0. Let me change to another color. Negative 0.8333. Okay. How about negative 2 over 3 equal, change it to decimal, negative 0.6667. Negative 0.6667. Okay, so I just do one more for you. So for the positive fraction, you can do it yourself. Negative 104 is actually negative 0.25. Negative 0.25. Okay, once you convert them to decimal, I think it should be no problem to compare which one is the largest, which one is the smaller, right? Okay, this is another way to help to use our calculator to help us to compare which one is larger, which one is smaller. Okay, let's move on to question number 5. Find the value of the following. So this one, we try to do it without using calculator. Okay, so you try to solve it without using calculator. Don't just fully depend on your calculator. You always can use your calculator to check your answer, but don't fully depend on it because you need to understand. You need to really understand it. If this one, you just press your calculator, just follow exactly what you see here. Definitely you can get the answer, right? Okay, let's try these questions. You can pause, as I told you just now. Try the questions before you look at my solution. Okay, so let's do a quick revision on this first. Negative will give you positive. Positive will give you positive. And positive will give you negative. Positive, negative will give you negative. So you will notice that whenever this is for multiplication and division, multiplication and division also can use these rules. So whenever the two signs are the same, then it becomes positive. If their signs are different, it will become negative. But you need to be more careful when you apply these rules. Let's say if I give you negative 3, negative 5. Some students might misuse this rule to solve these questions. They will say negative become positive. So 5 plus 3 is equal to 8. This is not correct. So as I told you just now, if you have a hard time to determine the value of this when you deal with negative number because it's considered new to you, think about money. So think about money, it will be easier to help you to get the answer. Try to think this way. You lose 3 ringgit and you lose another 5 ringgit. So the final answer will be losing money also, right? It cannot be earning money. Here you lose 3 ringgit, now you lose another 5 ringgit. So total you are losing 8 ringgit. Okay, so let's try another one. How about negative 3 plus 5? So if you don't know the value, just think this way. Losing 3 ringgit, then earn 5 ringgit. So earning is more than losing. Now we know your answer will be positive. So earning 2 ringgit, but you don't have right to positive 2. You just write 2. When you see no sign here, people know that this is positive 2. Okay? Now, let's try this one without using a calculator. So this, you can change this to improper fraction first if you want. If you don't want, you want to copy this one, it's okay. But personally, I like to change it to improper fraction first. It's up to you. You don't want to change it, it's okay. 3 times 4, you get 12. 12 plus 3, you get 15. Okay. Now, look at the parentheses here. So I have positive, negative. The first step, I'm going to open up these parentheses. The rest, I just copy. Negative 1 over 2, copy. Positive, negative. Apply these rules, it becomes negative. So this one we cannot do anything, we just copy. You cannot say, okay, divide, division, and negative, it become negative. No. We cannot do anything, just copy only. Okay, here if you want to simplify it, yes, you can. Let me simplify first. So 3 divided by 3 divided by 3. So you will get a negative 3 over 5. Okay. Now, the rest I copy. I look at the whole expression. Always remember, you have to do division and multiplication first, then followed by additions and subtraction. If you see parentheses, bracket, you need to solve that part first. So definitely I need to solve this part first, but I go through the whole thing inside the square bracket. I notice that here you have a division. So that means I need to solve this part first. Okay? So for the rest, I just copy. Copy. Negative, copy. Okay, so this I can change to the parentheses. Negative 1 over 2. Okay, now, don't just look at this one. Don't just look this way. So I will suggest you include the negative sign. Look at this whole thing together with the negative sign. Okay, together with the negative sign. Okay, let me show you one more step first. When you see divide, you have a fraction here. Let me flip the denominator and numerator first. Let me do this part first. Negative 0.45, change it become multiply. And then you flip their places between the numerator and denominator. Don't forget to copy the negative sign. Okay. Oh, since I have a round bracket here, so this one I change to square bracket. Okay. Okay, now just copy this one. Copy. Okay, as I told you just now, don't just look at this, but look at this whole thing. This whole thing. Okay, so if you want to press your calculator, right, you can just press it together with a negative sign. Let's say press negative 0.45 times negative 5 over 3, then press equal 3 over 4. When you see 3 over 4, it means positive, so you just write positive 3 over 4. You just write at 3 over 4. Okay? So let's say if you don't want to use a calculator, you can change this one to fraction first, or you can just do it this way, simplify it. Okay, so negative, negative, you get positive 0.15 times 5. Okay, 0.75. 0.75. Okay, so let me continue. So this one you can change to fraction if you want. If you don't want, you can change this to decimal. It's totally up to you. but you need to be more careful if the questions will request you to give your answer in decimal, so make sure your final answer is decimal. If the question requests you to give your final answer in fraction, you have to follow the instruction. Let me check back the questions. So this question doesn't mention anything, so we can give our answer in fraction or decimal. How about let me change this one to decimal first. Negative 0.5 plus 0.75. Okay. Copy the negative. Do this part first. Okay, now you have another problem. Negative 0.5 plus 0.75. So can you get the answer without using a calculator? If you cannot get the answer, you don't know how to do it, you can think this way. Now you lose 50 cents. Then you earn positive. You earn 75 cents. So your final answer will be earning money or losing money. Earning money, right? So 0.75 and 0.5. You just find the difference between these two. 0.25. So that this means you earn 25 cents. So it means positive. 0.25. Okay, this is positive 0.25. And this negative is from here, but you don't have to write this way. Just ignore the negative positive sign. Just write this way is okay. Okay, so just now I changed this to fraction. I changed this to decimal, right? So how about now I try another way. I change this one to fraction. So if you are using calculator, you don't have to do so many steps. So I just show you. Let's say if you don't want to use a calculator, this is the way how we can do it. Negative 15 over 4. How to change this to fraction? So it will be 1 over 4, right? So if you don't know why it's 1 over 4, you can just do it this way. 25 over 100. Okay, then you can simplify them. Divided by 25, divided by 25. So you will get negative 15 over 4 minus 1 over 4. Okay, so negative 15 over 4 minus 1 over 4. Again, if you don't know how to solve this without using calculator, you can just think this way. Now you are losing 15 ringgit. Then you lose another 1 ringgit. So total will be losing 16 ringgit, right? Negative 16 divided by 4, negative 4. So this is our final answer. So if you want to check using your calculator, you just key in exactly everything, just key in your calculator, then you will get negative 4 as well. Okay, you can take a try. Okay, in case you don't know how, you're still not really sure how to use your calculator, let me show you. So I want to key in the mixed number. Press this first. So you can press this first, then negative 3 over 4 like this. So some students don't want to key in this way. You actually can key in this way as well. Negative 3 first, then press this. Both are the same. Negative, okay, then put a parenthesis, negative 1 over 2 plus parenthesis again, negative 0.45 divide negative 9 over 15. Okay, equal. So the answer is negative 4, correct. Let's try next questions.